Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. Uh, if you are preparing for Azure networking certifications, working on enterprise cloud connectivity, or simply looking to understand how organizations establish private and secure connections to Microsoft Azure, then you are in the right place. Uh, in today's hands-on lab, we are going to deep dive into one of Azure's most powerful networking service, which is Azure ExpressRoute. Now, unlike traditional VPN connections that you rely on public internet, ExpressRoute provides a dedicated private connection between your on-prem infrastructure and Microsoft Azure. This means high reliability, lower latency, and better security, predictable network performance for your applications and workloads. So in today's video, we'll cover configure an ExpressRoute gateway, create and provision an ExpressRoute circuit, and then we'll retrieve the service key required for provider connectivity and safely then in the end we'll deprovision the ExpressRoute circuit so that we should not be charged or billed for, right? So all right, so let's open Azure portal and jump straight into today's lab. My name is Faz and I appreciate time. All right, so now let's get back to the portal, Azure portal. All right, before we start building, let's quickly understand what Azure ExpressRoute actually does. So, Azure ExpressRoute allows an organization to connect their on-premises network directly into Microsoft Azure or Microsoft 365 clouds. It uses a dedicated high bandwidth connection provided by a Microsoft partner. It comes with guaranteed a minimum of like 99.95% availability. There is another service like the direct express route which is provided by the Microsoft. But in today's session, we are talking about the express route, not the direct express route. All right. So think of this express route as a private highway between your organization and the Microsoft Azure. Instead of uh, instead of your traffic traveling over the public internet like VPN, it uses a dedicated connection provided by a connectivity partner or the network service provider. And the main components involved are like your on-premises network, connectivity provider, the ExpressRoute circuit, uh, ExpressRoute gateway in Azure, which is the landing point in Azure side, and then you have your Azure virtual networks, which is the VNet. So let's now jump straight into Azure portal and create the VNet and the gateway subnet. So now you can see here I'm in the VNet. We do not have existing VNet here, so we need to create a virtual network with subnet. So and then move on to the next. All right, so creating a VNet, let's click on the, so what I did here, you can simply go and search for the VNet here, uh, virtual networks, and you can land to this, and then you simply click on create, and create, I'll create a new resource group for this one. So I'll just give name RG, resource group 01. Okay. And I'll give the name ExpressRoute V net. Fine. And I'll create it in Central India. I'm just looking for Central India. Give me a second here. All right, so we can simply use the search option here. And then we have the Central India. I just pick this, then click on next and next and address space. I'll go with the default here. And the we already have one default subnet. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly edit this. I want to give a name production subnet, the one pre-exist, and we'll need to create a dedicated subnet as well for the express round. So let's make the changes and create one more subnet. It's running a bit slow, so let's just bear with me. All right, so I'll change the name here. I'll give prod subnet, and I'm okay with the the address range. So I just save it, and I'll create one more subnet here for ExpressRoute. So now, quickly just covering this, like always ensure this the IP that you have here. Always ensure your address space does not overlap with your existing on-premise network or any network that's going to be that you're going to connect to this environment, or you have like future requirement to connect to this. This is one of the most common mistakes that causes routing issues later. So just avoid that. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, this is something which is special for ExpressRoute Gateway. So we'll simply we'll click the virtual network gateway here, and you see here gateway subnet. So what we'll do, we'll simply go with the 27 here, using a large subnet size such as 27 or 26 provides flexibility for future gateway upgrades. So this should it looks good. What I'll do, I'll just change the I'll keep it here. Okay, fine. Let's go with this, the one that we have here already. Great. So it looks good. We can simply click on OK. So we have two, one for the production subnet, and second we have for the express route that we would be creating. We click on next. We look good here. Next, we'll review that, and we should be good to great. So the validation on the top left, you see the validation. It's very important. Always make sure the validation has gone successful, and then it would allow you to go and create that. So on the top right side, you see a task which has been initiated. The deployment for this has been kicked in, and it should be in a few seconds available. All right, perfect. Our virtual network and the required subnet is now ready. That you could see here. This has been completed now. Now let's search for virtual network gateway and create the ExpressRoute gateway. So let's click on virtual network gateway. Just type in the search virtual network gateway and click on virtual network gateways. It should take you to the Uh, all right, so here you see the options like now you have an option here, left side if you see ExpressRoute and the VPN. So VPN also has like the VPN gateway, and under ExpressRoute you see ExpressRoute gateways. So when you are going to create ExpressRoute, make sure you create a gateway under like ExpressRoute gateway. So it's already selected here. I'll just click on create. All right, so now it's asking me to enter the name, so I'll just enter gateway. Okay, and Central India, the same region where I have the VNet available. And now here you see the gateway type. It's by default selected VPN. Make sure you select the Express route, since we need to create the Express route gateway. And here you have SKU standard, so I'll go for the standard one for now. And here it's asking for the virtual network. So remember, we just create virtual network, ERVNet. We'll select this, and it should pick the subnet which we created. Remember, /27 for this one. So since it's already available, it has already detected and picked. So we look good here, and we can simply click on review and create. So let's click on that. And always remember, like when it comes to the gateway type, make sure you select ExpressRoute, not the VPN. Many beginners accidentally choose like VPN gateway, which serves an entirely a different purpose. So, all right, on the top left, you see validation, which has gone successful. So let's click on create, and it should start the task on the top right side. You see, and I start the deployment. So now the deployment can take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the region and the gateway type. So do not worry, this is completely normal. And just to understand what's happening behind the scene, is like Azure is deploying specialized network resources inside the gateway subnet that will handle route and the communication with the ExpressRoute circuit. So once the deployment completes, we will be ready for the next move. So I'll pause here and come back when it's completed. All right, so I'm back, and now we can see here the virtual network gateway has successfully been deployed, and we can see here. Let me just close it. This looks absolutely fine, and this is the ExpressRoute gateway. If I click on that, here we see the information for this one. So we have the ExpressRoute gateway completely and successfully deployed, and let's now create ExpressRoute circuit. Uh, so for that, you see here left side. Let me just close it. You see under ExpressRoute, there is like now ExpressRoute circuit. So we'll just click on that. This is the Okay, let's click on create on the top left to create the ExpressRoute circuit. Great. We'll pick the resource group that we have here. And now this is the most important part. Like, you see three options here, which is like you see a standard, this one, you see high resiliency and maximum resiliency. So let's talk one like just to understand. So this standard, if you look like it changes like here. So Standard, this has two physical links, but both inside the same Microsoft Edge location. What it means is if the local Microsoft Edge site goes down, your connection goes down. Uh, it's good for non-critical workloads, and if you go for high resiliency, then you see a change here. Uh, what it means is two separate Microsoft Edge locations, right? Uh, you see peering location one, peering location two, and but each location has only one physical link, and you are protected if one location fails. Uh, but each location has only one link, so link failure inside a location can still impact you, right? And if we go to the maximum resiliency, so what it means is two separate Microsoft Edge locations, this edge locations, each with two redundant physical link that you see here. And this gives you full protection even if an entire location fails or link fails. Your connectivity stays up, best for production and mission critical critical workloads. So for now, here we'll go with the standard one since we are using for the test lab here. So we'll click on that and scroll down. We'll pick the region, which is the Central India, as we have the VNAME, and we'll give the name, which is ER Circuit. Okay, and here you see an option port types. This select provider. If you are connecting to the service provider in order to access Microsoft's network, select direct, direct ExpressRoute. If you have an ExpressRoute direct resource and want to use it to connect directly into Microsoft's global network, right? So since we are going to use it, use the provider, so it's already by default picked, so we'll just leave it with the default one. And here location pairing. So location pairing is it indicates the physical location where you are pairing with the Microsoft. So we'll see here. Let's do one thing. Mumbai. We'll pick physical location Mumbai here, and provider. We'll choose a provider like let's go with Verizon, and the bandwidth 50 Mbps. So this is where you will select the connectivity provider basically. In real world production environments, this could be providers such as Equinix, AT&T, Verizon, or Tata Communication. Uh, like you know, uh, Depending on your location, and you can choose the bandwidth according to your organization's expected workload and traffic requirements. So we look good here, standard, and we can simply click on review and create. So let's click on that. Validation has gone successful, so we look good. We can simply click on create to start the deployment, and on the top right side you see this has been initiated now, so it should take a couple of minutes time to complete it. Let's just wait, and great. So the ExpressRoute circuit has now been created successfully, and let's click on go to resource. Now let's quickly understand the ExpressRoute circuit standards. You will notice several provisioning states here. So this here. Let's click on that circuit. All right, so now here you can see the ExpressRoute circuit status, like this provider status. This is where you can verify. Uh, Currently, it shows on the top right side, provider status not provisioned. What it means is like the Azure has successfully created the circuit. However, the connectivity provider has not yet completed their side of the configuration. The moment it turns to the provisioned, you you will see here if it shows provisioned. So what it means is both Azure and the service provider have completed the configuration and the private connection is ready for use. All right, next would be for us to the obtain the service key that you could see here, service key. So now what it means is this service key is a unique identifier generated by Azure for you. Think of it as tracking number for your ExpressRoute connection. So you will provide this service key to your connectivity provider so that they can link their physical infrastructure to the or to your Azure ExpressRoute circuit. And always remember, this is very important for security reasons. Never share this key publicly. It should only be provided to your authorized service provider. And one very, very important note here, your ExpressRoute circuit is built from the moment a service key is issued. So right now you can see this has been issued, and uh, and you ensure that you perform this operation when the connectivity provider is ready to provision the circuit, so that you should avoid the extra billing. So at this stage, like we have virtual network we have the virtual network which is exist right now, gateway exists, ExpressRoute circuit we have created, and service key has been retained. The next step in real enterprise deployment would be linking this ExpressRoute circuit to the virtual network gateway using ExpressRoute connection. Once that connection is established and the provider completes the provisioning, from their side, traffic can flow securely between your data center and Azure. So from here, you're all set. Just wait for the provider to complete the provisioning, and it would be all set and good to go. All right, so now since we do not want to be billed for this, so we'll simply go ahead and delete this, deprovision the ExpressRoute circuit. So this is again, like when it comes to deletion or deprovisioning the ExpressRoute circuit, this is an important operation task and should always be performed very carefully. Before you touch the deletion, make sure verify all dependent connections have been removed, as circuit cannot be deleted while resources are still attached to it. And make sure coordinate with the connectivity provider to ensure the provider deactivate their side of the connection, and to avoid the unnecessary billing. So I'll just use a PowerShell command to start the deprovisioning of this resource group so that it should delete the complete all the resources. And okay, so it has started, and once it's deleted, Azure releases the associated network resources and the service key becomes invalid. So that way we can simply avoid being unnecessarily charged. All right, so let's quickly recap what we have accomplished in today's lab. We have created the virtual network, configured the gateway subnet, deployed ExpressRoute gateway, created ExpressRoute circuit, retrieved the service key, and understood the ExpressRoute provisioning workflow. So these are foundational skill that every Azure network engineer or cloud architect should be familiar with. So that's it for today's lab. I hope you found this hands-on walkthrough helpful and gained a clear understanding of how ExpressRoute enables private enterprise connectivity between your on-prem environment and Azure. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comments section. Uh, have you worked with ExpressRoute in production environment, or are you learning it as a part of your Azure journey? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in next one. Take care. Happy learning.